Here we go again. Michael Carrick praises Manchester United hero versus Arsenal. Two huge moments. Matheus Cunha was the Manchester United match winner as he scored a stunning late goal in the 3-2 win against Arsenal at the Emirates Stadium. Michael Carrick praised the way Matheus Cunha channeled his disappointment at not starting either of Manchester United's wins against Manchester City and Arsenal, after coming off the bench to have a major impact in both matches. Cunha got an assist at Old Trafford when he created Patrick Dorgu's goal, but was the hero of the hour at the Emirates, firing in a stunning winning goal from 25 yards just moments after Mikel Merino had equalised for Arsenal. That capped off a madcap game in North London, with United coming from behind to lead 2-1 after goals from Bryan Mbeumo and a thunderbolt from Dorgu. But Carrick felt Cunha's reaction to being dropped summed up the spirit on show in the first 2 weeks of his spell in charge. Matheus coming on and having a big impact again like he did last week, Carrick said. Creating a goal last week, I really fancied him to score. Again, fantastic finish. Kind of epitomizes probably what we've been like this week. Matheus has not started both games, but he's had a real big impact and he's been disappointed not to start, but he's used it in a really good way. Two huge moments, and he totally deserves that winning goal for that. How he's applied himself all week, and I'm absolutely delighted for him. Dorgu's 20-yard volley had given United the lead, and although it was a stunning finish, Carrick was pleased with the quality of the move leading to the goal and hailed the impact of the Dane in his first 2 games in charge. The move for Pat was a really good move, and the connection through the pitch, but to finish it the way he did was some finish, he said. Pat's been a big player for us over the last couple of games. I think in so many ways, attacking-wise, obviously he scored 2 goals, but I think in terms of the threat and his athleticism and his quality coming in as well and connections. I think that defensively he's been immense as well, down the side with Luke and doubling up against 2 teams that ask a lot of questions down the side. It's a big job for him, and I'm delighted for him because the 2 goals he scored, very different goals, but you get that because he's put so much into the performances. It's nice to see him smiling and happy. Dorgu came off towards the end after clutching the back of his leg, but Carrick is hopeful it was just a bout of cramp. Hopefully a little bit of cramp, hopefully it's nothing worse, but he ended up coming up like that and just shows what he's put in really to the performance, he said. At this stage it's hard to tell, so we'll just have to wait and see, but yeah, for sure we are hoping that it's not too bad. So Jim Ratcliffe's 2-word verdict after stunning Manchester United win versus Arsenal. So Jim Ratcliffe attended Manchester United's dramatic win against Arsenal in the Premier League on Sunday afternoon. A beaming Sir Jim Ratcliffe said, "Yeah, very," when asked whether he was happy after Manchester United's win against Arsenal. Ratcliffe attended the 3-2 win at the Emirates alongside Omar Berrada and Jason Wilcox. Arsenal equalised through Mikel Merino in the 84th minute, but there was another twist in the game when Matheus Cunha scored 3 minutes later to secure a huge victory for United. When Ratcliffe left the stadium, he was asked if he could speak to reporters. No, he said before adding, just get the smile and gesturing that his lips were sealed. Then the United co-owner was asked whether he was happy with the result, and he responded, very yeah. Ratcliffe's regime sacked Ruben Amorim amid rising tensions with the board. Darren Fletcher served as caretaker for 2 games, and Michael Carrick was appointed as head coach until the end of the season. Carrick oversaw a win against Manchester City in his first game in charge, and built on that result by securing a stunning victory against Premier League leaders Arsenal, which moved United to 4th. Speaking to the BBC, Carrick said, "It was a good day. I think we had to put a lot into that game, an awful lot. Credit to the boys, so proud of them. We had to sustain some attacks, especially earlier on, and we grew into the game. We had a setback, come back strong, had a setback towards the end, come back strong. So many elements to the game that were good. We're so fresh whether it's 10 days in, 2 games, it's never going to be perfect at this stage, especially coming against a team like Arsenal. But there were so many positives to take, and we'll keep adding to it in days and weeks to come. The boys have been fantastic in terms of taking things on, wanting to do it and investing into it. You can see what it means to them at the end. Really proud of them today. It's obvious to say, but it's a tough place to come. Especially with the way the game flowed, we stick at it, and fantastic feeling at the end." Here is on the Emmy Football Hub, and I'm Emmy. Make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications all to stay updated. Michael Carrick's Manchester United honeymoon period continued in spectacular fashion at the Emirates Stadium, where a dramatic 3-2 victory over Arsenal showcased both the tactical acumen of the interim manager and the resilience of a squad that has endured significant turbulence in recent months. The win, United's second consecutive triumph under Carrick following the shock dismissal of Ruben Amorim, propelled the Red Devils into fourth place in the Premier League and offered a tantalising glimpse of what might be possible under new leadership. The hero of the hour was Matheus Cunha, whose stunning 25-yard strike in the 87th minute secured all 3 points just moments after Arsenal thought they had salvaged a draw through Mikel Merino's 84th-minute equalizer. Cunha's intervention was particularly significant given that he had been relegated to the bench for both of United's recent victories against Manchester City and Arsenal, two of the biggest matches of the season. His ability to channel disappointment into decisive action perfectly encapsulates the mentality shift that appears to be taking place at Old Trafford under Carrick's stewardship. Carrick's praise for Cunha after the match was effusive and telling. The former United midfielder, now managing his boyhood club, highlighted how the Brazilian forward had handled being dropped with professionalism and readiness. This is not merely standard managerial platitudes. Cunha's impact from the bench against City, where he created Patrick Dorgu's goal with an incisive assist, followed by his match-winning strike at Arsenal, represents exactly the kind of squad depth and competitive spirit that elite teams require. In Carrick's words, Cunha epitomizes what the group has been like during his first 10 days in charge, suggesting a cultural reset is underway. The broader context of this victory cannot be understated. Manchester United entered this fixture amid considerable uncertainty following the controversial dismissal of Ruben Amorim. The Portuguese coach, who had been appointed with considerable fanfare earlier in the season, reportedly clashed with the board over transfer policy and squad management decisions. His departure after a relatively short tenure raised serious questions about the coherence of the club's strategic direction under the INEOS ownership led by Sir Jim Ratcliffe. Darren Fletcher stepped in as caretaker for 2 matches before Carrick was handed the reins until the end of the current season. The appointment of Carrick, a United legend who made over 460 appearances for the club during his playing career and had previously served as a coach under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Michael Carrick, represents a return to familiar faces during a period of instability. Whether this is a shrewd move or merely sentimentality remains to be seen, but the early returns have been exceptional. The victory over Manchester City in Carrick's first match was impressive, but defeating Arsenal at the Emirates carries additional weight. Arsenal entered this fixture as league leaders and had been in formidable form. For United to travel to North London and emerge victorious in such dramatic circumstances demonstrates character that had been questioned throughout much of the season. The match itself was a microcosm of modern Premier League football at its most chaotic and entertaining. Arsenal took the lead early, exposing some of the defensive vulnerabilities that have plagued United all season. However, Brian Mbeumo equalised with a well-taken finish, demonstrating the attacking threat United possess when they can transition quickly and exploit spaces. The real moment of quality came from Patrick Dorgu, whose thunderous 20-yard volley gave United a 2-1 advantage. Carrick was particularly complimentary about both the build-up play and the finish, noting the connection through the pitch and praising Dorgu's overall contribution across both matches. Dorgu's impact since Carrick took charge has been remarkable. The Danish defender, who can operate on either flank and has been deployed in various roles, has scored in consecutive matches with strikes of contrasting styles. Against City, his goal was more instinctive, whereas the volley at Arsenal required exceptional technique and confidence. Beyond his goals, Carrick highlighted Dorgu's athleticism, defensive work rate, and ability to handle the demands of doubling up against quality opposition down the flanks. His partnership with Luke Shaw has been particularly effective, providing both defensive solidity and attacking impetus. The concern late in the match when Dorgu clutched the back of his leg and had to be substituted will worry United supporters. Carrick remained hopeful it was merely cramp, a consequence of the intense effort Dorgu had invested in the performance, but acknowledged that a proper assessment would be needed. Any significant injury to Dorgu at this stage would be a blow given how integral he has been to the recent upturn in results. Arsenal's equalizer through Mikel Merino appeared to have denied United a famous victory. The Spanish midfielder capitalized on a moment of uncertainty in the United defense to restore parity with just 6 minutes of normal time remaining. The Emirates Stadium erupted, and Arsenal sensed they could push for a winner. However, United demonstrated the mental fortitude that had been absent for much of the season. Rather than retreating into a defensive shell and settling for a hardened point, they continued to attack. Cunha's winner was a moment of individual brilliance. Receiving the ball approximately 25 yards from goal, he struck a powerful shot that gave Arsenal goalkeeper no chance. The technique, power and placement were all exceptional. More importantly, the timing was perfect. Scoring just 3 minutes after conceding an equalizer requires composure and confidence that comes from believing in one's ability and trusting the team's approach. The presence of Sir Jim Ratcliffe, Omar Berrada and Jason Wilcox in the stands added another layer of significance to the occasion. Ratcliffe's beaming smile and two-word assessment, when asked if he was happy, spoke volumes. The INEOS ownership group has faced considerable criticism for the handling of managerial appointments and the lack of a clear footballing vision since taking control. Consecutive victories over two of the Premier League's elite teams will not silence all critics, but they provide evidence that perhaps the appointment of Carrick was the right decision, at least in the short term. Ratcliffe's playful interaction with reporters, gesturing that his lips were sealed while allowing his smile to convey his satisfaction, showed a lighter side to an owner who has often appeared stern and businesslike in public appearances. The gesture of simply saying, "Just get the smile," suggests he understands the power of moments like these to rebuild confidence and momentum, both within the club and among the fan base. The tactical approach under Carrick has not been revolutionary, but it has been effective. United have shown greater organisation defensively while maintaining the attacking threat that the quality of their forward players provides. The willingness to make bold substitutions and tactical adjustments during matches has been noteworthy. Bringing Cunha off the bench at crucial moments in both matches required conviction and trust in the squad depth, qualities that seemed lacking under previous management this season. Carrick's post-match assessment was measured and realistic. He acknowledged the game was never going to be perfect given it was only his second match in charge and only 10 days into his tenure. Facing a team of Arsenal's quality away from home presents immense challenges, and United had to sustain considerable pressure, particularly in the early stages. However, the ability to grow into the game, respond to setbacks twice by scoring quickly afterward, and maintain belief until the final whistle are all encouraging signs. The manager's emphasis on the players' investment in the new approach and their willingness to take on new ideas is crucial. One of the criticisms leveled at the squad during recent struggles has been a lack of cohesion and commitment to tactical plans. If Carrick can genuinely foster a culture where players buy into a collective vision and fight for each other, United's considerable individual talent could finally translate into consistent team performances. Looking ahead, United face a crucial period that will determine whether these two victories represent a genuine turning point or merely a temporary bounce under new management. The fixture list will test Carrick's ability to maintain momentum and implement his ideas more deeply. Questions remain about whether he is the long-term solution or simply stabilizing the situation until a more permanent appointment can be made in the summer. The rise to fourth place is significant but must be viewed in context. The Premier League is exceptionally competitive this season, and positions can change rapidly. United remain behind the top three but have given themselves a genuine opportunity to secure Champions League qualification, which would be a substantial achievement given the turmoil experienced this campaign. The financial and reputational implications of reaching Europe's elite competition cannot be overstated for a club of United's stature. Individual performances will need to be replicated consistently. Cunha's impact from the bench has been exceptional, but the Brazilian will likely expect to start matches if his form continues. Managing squad harmony when players feel they deserve starting positions requires diplomatic skill. Dorgu's emergence as a key player needs to be supported by maintaining his fitness and potentially rotating him carefully to avoid burnout. The defensive unit still appears vulnerable against sustained pressure, something that better teams will exploit if improvements are not made. The broader strategic questions facing Manchester United persist, despite these encouraging results. The relationship between Carrick and the board, particularly regarding transfer policy and long-term planning, will be tested. The January transfer window remains open, and decisions about squad reinforcement could define the rest of the season. Ratcliffe and the INEOS team have stated their intention to operate more sustainably and strategically, but whether they will back Carrick with funds for immediate improvements remains unclear. For now, Manchester United can enjoy a moment of triumph. Beating Arsenal at the Emirates in such dramatic fashion, following a victory over Manchester City, represents exactly the kind of statement performance that can shift perception and build momentum. Carrick has made an impressive start, Cunha and Dorgu have emerged as unlikely heroes, and Sir Jim Ratcliffe is smiling. In the unpredictable world of Premier League football, sometimes that is enough to change everything.